right click, open with, pattern design, separate work area. Now you see the pattern pieces, jacket pattern pieces, and you will move your cursor in the between space where this empty space, right click, place all tile. Okay, I think I'm turn the view light on. Do you see the pattern pieces? Yes, without seam allowance, right? Okay, so this is the part. If you have questions, speak out because I'm not. I can't see the box. Okay, so this what happened was because we're doing a remote. I couldn't show you the digitizing part. Okay, so if you were on campus, if you were in-person class, you would have had digitize these pieces. Okay, and then the next step will be verify pieces. So we would like to do this verify pattern pieces and then add a seam allowance. So that's the practice we're going to do. Okay, so you can see these are very basic pieces, right? Seam allowance not added, and so from this you're going to create maybe self pieces and then lining pieces and then fuse wall pieces and all that. Okay. See how. So if this is a real paper pattern, you will probably check this, whether these front pieces seams are, matching, notches are matching, and you do every, seam walk, right? Front seam, back seam to back seam, and you also check the sleeve with the armhole. Okay, so it's a very important part of the pattern making, right? So I like to start with here. So I'm going to walk these pieces to these two pieces, this and this, okay? See whether measurements are matching, okay? So to verify, or to walk pieces, it will be under Verify tab menu, okay? So if you select the Verify, and you have walk pieces, okay? Verify, walk pieces, okay? And you can check add and add mark or add notches. Okay, so you have option to add notch while you're walking. Okay, which I'm going to show you. So I would like to walk this. Let's say from the top. Okay, so this is the piece stays stationary. This is the piece going to be a mobile piece. So I will select this one. Select this line first. Okay. Now you see the arrow coming from the opposite direction. I want to start from here. So right click, change direction. And I say right click, OK. Now I select the target line. Now the direction is good. So you confirm with right click, OK. And then see it moves, but it's a little hard to see in this. You want to flip this side panel so that you can check a little bit easier. So then you right click, change mobile side. Now you can see, now you can walk like this. So you can see these are not these seams are not matching. Okay, so you should be alarmed, right? So how can you do that? So you say, okay, cancel. I want to walk, okay, from the waistline up and waistline down, and then you make adjustment. Okay, so that's the plan I'm going to do. So I will use same option, same here, verify, walk piece, and then this time I will select this, but I want to start from here. Okay, so from here upward. So you see I have option. So right click. Okay, you can select exclude before. Okay, when you select the option, you will select that. I want to do like a notch here, the way the waist is. Okay, so I want to start from here, and you say right click, OK. Now I select the target line. Now the direction is wrong, so I will change the direction. And again, I want to start from here. So right click again to exclude before, and then I will select the notch here, okay, waistline notch. So it starts from here. Now I can finally right click OK to walk, and again right click to change mobile side. And you see that you find a discrepancy. If you find a discrepancy, there here you see, there you go. You have a notches are matching, so I will stay there, right click OK. Then I will fix this. Okay, this happens quite often, right? When you digitize, you try as accurate as possible, or even after you traced from the draft, you have to do that. Okay, so how can I fix that? Well, maybe you want to take like a middle point, okay, to true. So I'm going to first fix that front piece. Okay, so when you have two pieces close together, it's a little hard to select, right? So what you can do is here current box. Now, if you don't have that, right bottom in the middle, the bottom, you see a little square with dot dot dot. When you click, this small mask window appears. It's called current pieces. So I will select this one. If you look at the bottom, when you're highlighting the piece, you see the piece name at the bottom. So right now I'm highlighting. So I need to highlight. I want to modify piece number 01. Okay, so 01 is this one. So you see now I can only modify this front piece. Okay, so I wanted to go just a little bit lower here. Okay, so what I would do is I will use create, offset, uneven. Okay, and then I will select replace, and I will just keep this one 0, and then here maybe I do like a -1 name. But that'll be a little too much, huh? Okay, well, let me change that. I would, well, let me cancel. Create, offset, uneven. So I will maybe here 0. And this one, let's say 1/16, -1/16. I will select the point again. So -1/16. So that looks good. And then now I will clear. And then you see see the side pieces highlighted, which is piece number 2. So now I select piece number 2, and I will do the same thing, create, offset, uneven. So I will keep the bottom of the armhole 0, okay, and then I will select that point, okay. So that I will do no minus 1/16. That will be almost. So these are, when you look at computer pattern making, you see more, like a 1/16, less than 1/16, you can still see it. Okay, when you do paper pattern, probably you don't see that discrepancy that much. Okay, but if you are bothered by this, you further just just move point to fix that. Okay, like that. Okay, it's a little little too flat here, so you want to bring these 2 points a little bit in. Okay, so then I will move points. This time not the single point. I will move multiple points at the same time. So I'll select that, and then use the mark key to carefully select these corners. Then I can just move just a little bit. So that looks a little better, right? Maybe just a little bit more. Okay, so you know what I'm trying to do. So you do fine tuning like that. Once match that point. Okay, so that looks much better. Okay, so you will fix that. So you can see, I did just one example here. You need to do that all the seams. Okay, so now I finished verifying this section. I want to do the bottom part. Okay, so I will walk again, verify walk pieces. Okay, and this will be the stationary line. I will select the front side seam. Now direction is wrong. I'll say right click, change direction. I want to start from the waist, so right click to select exclude before, and then you hold down the left button, slide all the way to the waist, and then you see when you see a notch, that means you're selecting that waistline, and you release, then it starts from here. Then you right click to confirm, then you select the target line. Now the direction is correct, but you want to start from here. So you right click again, then select exclude before, and you carefully hold down left button mouse, slide to the waist point, and you release. Now you see both pieces are starting from the waist. Then you finally right click OK, and right click to change mobile side so that you can walk. So the bottom part is, I guess, good, right? You don't need to correct. So right click to cancel or OK. So what difference between OK and cancel? When you do OK, the piece will stay when you just as is right now. When you say cancel, it go back to the pieces it was before. Okay, so it doesn't undo anything when even you say cancel. Okay, so I will use cancel once you verify the pieces. And then if you wanted to change this to the original orientation, unfortunately, you have to go to modify, piece action realign, and realign piece to realign. Okay. How was that? Questions? Well, so if you have more options, you have more steps, right? So that is a very so. Unfortunately, this has to be done before you release the pattern. So let's. So I'd like you to practice that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let me continue with that verification. Verify walk piece. So I'm going to do same here. This time the back will be the stationary piece. So select the back princess line, and I will right click to change direction, and right click again to start from the waistline. So you select exclude before and hold down left button and then slide up to where the notch is. Okay, waistline. Now release. So now this part is good. So right click OK. The next I select the target line, which is this one. Direction is correct, but starting point is wrong. So right click to exclude before, and then hold down left button, and then find the notch point at the waist, and you release. Now it's good. So right click OK to confirm. Then you can walk like that. Now, I mean, if you feel comfortable walking like this, that's okay. But I prefer change mobile side. It will be easier to look at, right? So you can see like that, and then you can again. You see that little bit discrepancy right there. So this one, either you want to go maybe offset this to match this one, or you can bring this one in a little bit in. This is your decision to make. Okay. I would do something like this. Okay, so I will show you, different ways. You can do offset uneven to get this one, bring it up here. You know what I'm saying? I can do bring offset uneven so that you can add a little bit more to so that it will match this point. Or if you feel this line is good, I don't want to change this line, but I want to change this one. So how can you do that? I would use modify, smooth. Okay, modify, smooth. Okay, so I'm going to select this point. Okay, when you select, right click OK, you see the push pin appears, right? So I'm going to carefully move maybe up to here, and this one you go up all the way to probably about this notch point. Okay, and right click OK, and I'm going to just bring it to this point so that it matches exactly like that. Okay, so that probably it's decent, right? Armhole looks really decent. That's one thing you can do. Okay, so let me. It doesn't. Okay, so other option is you can do, as I said, create offset uneven, and you will check replace. So you would say maybe about here, start deviating point, start separating from maybe about here, and right click OK. And you're gonna go all the way to the point, maybe estimate how much is that, probably like a 1/8. Okay, and so this is the way you can do apply. And if you're not, if you think, oh, 1/8 is a little bit too much, then you will select the point again, and then what is that, 0.125 is that 1/8, right? So 0.1, for example, and I will say okay. So that much is just a little, I guess that's close enough, and right click OK. Then after that, you do modify single point to do just fine tuning. Okay, so either way, I don't know which one you prefer, but um, which one do you like? Okay, well, you decide which one works good for you, but or you can try, you can experiment both. Okay, well then,
Could you do the modify smooth one again?
yes.
Thank you.
So modify smooth is I don't know which one is easy, easy, but modify smooth, you know, useful depends on the situation. But in this case, I find it's useful. So modify smooth is here. Okay. So first you need to select a point. Okay. So I will select this point, right? This is the program point. Okay. And right click OK. When you do that, push pin will appear the other end of the line, each line. So these are two intersecting point, right? This is the point, has the two line intersect. So you see push pin to the other side of the line, and then the other side of the line, like that. So if I don't move push pin, okay, and say right click OK, you see the whole whole affect the whole line, which you don't want to do that. Okay, so when you select smooth, okay, you will basically specify the area that change takes place. So I will, maybe about up to here, and this one left click, and then just move my mouse maybe about here, right? Because maybe over here. Now, once you move the push pin, right click OK, and then you will just, zoom in and then try to match the point like that. Okay. So when you do that, push pin, no dragging, right? Just left click and release. You move your mouse and then left click to place it, secure the pin, the placement. Were you able to do that?
Thank you.
Okay. Now, I would try the bottom. Okay, now again, I will do verify walk piece. So I will select the back princess line. I want to start from the waistline down. So right click to exclude before and then hold down left button, slide all the way to the waist. Now release and right click OK. Now this will be the target line. Direction is wrong. So right click to change direction and right click again to exclude before and you select the waist point. Now both are good, so right click OK. And then again right click to change mobile side and so you can walk this one. Yeah, it's good, right? From the waist down, no correction required. So right click to cancel. Okay. All right. Now, so I guess you know walk piece width, this exclude before feature. Okay. So that's, sometimes you want to walk from certain particular points that you can select that starting point by using exclude before. Okay. Now, so you do the same thing for the front, a sleeve, front and a back, and then if you do that, so that let me do that. Okay. So verify walk piece. So I would do top sleeve with the stationary. Right click OK. Select. Right click to change direction and OK. And you walk pieces. Okay, so this is a little bit of a notch difference. So what you can do is actually, other thing you can do is that measuring tool. Okay, so verify between notches. Okay, so you do here, here, here. Okay, you can simply compare each section. Okay, then you can see, okay, this one is longer than this one. This one, well, this one is 1/8 smaller almost, but that's intentional. Okay, it's because the top sleeve usually this is one almost like a little less than 1/8, often or around 1/8 shorter, and then this side around 1/8 bigger. Okay, to get a little bit of ease, this one you need to be stretched. So that's the reason the number is different. But here is also you can see that number. So let's say this section is correct. You only need to fix this part and this part, for example. Okay. So what you can do is that 5.29, and then if you want to match this one to this, so you want to bring this point higher. Okay. So you basically want to shorten this section, this direction. So what can you do? You can use modify line actions adjust. Okay, modify line actions adjust. Okay, and then you will select this line and then bring your mouse to the end of the end point, and you just left click and you can shorten. But obviously you don't want to do that in freehand, so you would change in bunny click, change to value mode. So how much you want to reduce? 0.07, is it? 0.07, is that, am I doing correct? Yeah, so that is now equal, even. Okay. Now this one, you don't want to just adjust by number. You want to walk this so you can put this together, and then you want to fix this part. Okay. So I'm gonna turn off the measurement. So what you can do is, instead of, you can walk. Okay, so let's do walk. You can use walk pieces too, so that you can put the lines together. Verify walk piece. So I select this line. Now I would walk from this notch up. Okay, so I would change direction, and I want to start from this point. So right click to exclude before, and I will select this notch point, and OK, and I select the target. Direction is correct, but you want to start from here. So right click to exclude before, and you select the notch point, and right click OK, and right click to change mobile side, and right click OK. Now you see same thing, same like similar that we did for the back princess line. So you can, I guess I just shifted a little bit, sorry. So you want to fix, probably I will raise this one here, right? Because this is the front. Okay, maybe you want to go just a little bit deeper. Okay, so you want to do either offset uneven, or you can do modify smooth. Okay, so if you want to do modify smooth, I will select this point, right click OK, and I will move push pin all the way to maybe about here, and then this one all the way to where the notch point is, and right click OK, and you can do just a little bit like that. Okay, now I do this side also, right click OK, and I will bring this one all the way to notch point, and maybe I will just here also I want to go about maybe halfway, and you will change that like this. Okay, and you will do modify single point. You do this a little bit of final, tuning. Oh, this part doesn't have point, so create point. If you don't have adequate point, you may need to add a little bit more to create a better shape. So add a point and modify single point, and you can do this a little bit more curved, basically. So this is the unfortunately you need to get used to, because you don't have French curve and hip curve. So moving points is that basically you do a lot of pattern corrections, and you need to have a very good eye to judge whether the curves you're seeing are good or not, right? All right. So as you can see, the pattern verification is not an exciting part, but it needs to be done. Okay. So these are the tools you can use. So verify workpiece, and then the rest you will do under modify tab, move points, move lines, or create offset uneven. Those are the way to fix the patterns. All right. So are you good at walk pieces now? You think you understand? Okay.
Yes.
Well. Okay. So I like you to practice that. Okay. So I can't do everything, so you can practice the rest of that. I'll do. But the last thing I want to do is the arm hold. Okay. Arm hold. It's a little tricky because I want to do multi legs, the walk pieces. Okay, so this one I like to watch my demo. Okay, so let me fix the side panels orientation. Okay. All right, so because sleeve now has two parts, it's a little tricky, right? So I like to walk pieces from the bottom of the armhole. First, I go front armhole, okay? From the bottom of the armhole, from this point, going to the shoulder point, okay? So corresponding lines here on the two-piece pattern, sleeve pattern pieces from here, right? From here, going this direction and this direction. So that will be the front armhole. Okay, so you have two segments, two legs, two walk pieces. Okay, so you do the same way. Verify walk pieces. Now this time you select the two sections. So I will start from here. Okay, now you can see this armhole is not split. Okay, so what you can do is right click to exclude before, and you're going to go find the notch, that indication of the bottom of the armhole. Okay, so that is good. Then I will continue selecting front armhole. Now you can see entire front armhole being selected. So right click OK. Now you move on to sleeve. So I will click here. This is the bottom. This is the corresponding line, right? So when you click, this one is split here, so you don't need to move push pin. Okay, so it starts from here, but direction is wrong. So right click to change direction. So that's good. Now see, this point is this point, right? So start in same direction, and then you select the second section, which is here. Okay, now I can walk. So right click OK. See, now I can do like that. I guess this is good. When you get to this point, oh, I see this must be something really wrong, because sleeve, I must have selected the wrong sleeve. Anyway, so you can see the front is really missing. Okay, so you can see you can do multi-segment work piece like this. Now if you don't like that, change mobile side, and so not just matching. So this, I think something wrong here. But anyway, so that's how you can walk multi-sections. And once you're done, if you don't have anything to fix, then right click to cancel. Then it goes back to the original position. Okay. Now I do same way for the back. So I will select here. Now right click, change direction. Right click to exclude before, and I'm going to start from the bottom of the armhole. And then now I will select the back armhole. Right click OK. Then I will select this one, the direction is correct, and here, and then this one, continue to this line. And now I right click OK. Then I'm going to walk back sleeve. Okay, so you can see that something wrong with the sleeve, but you see that you can walk multi-section segment like this. It's a little jumpy, but okay, so at least I like you to practice doing that. Okay, same way for the collar. I'm going to show you next collar. Okay, so this is the collar. This is the notch point. Notch point is from here. This notch point. Notch is a little confusing, but notch collar, that this point. Okay, okay. This starts from this point. Start from this point, right? And you have little darts there. So so when you walk, I will the the front jacket is a stationary piece. So when I do a verify walk piece, I will first select the gauge line. It's called gauge line, the proper terminology. So then I will right click to change direction, and then right click to exclude before, and I will select this notch point as a starting point. Now I can continuously select next segment and then the back neck. Okay, so that part is done. So I say right click OK. Next target is here, and I will select like that and right click OK. Then I can check. Okay, like that. And I can right click to change mobile side. And you can see this color is a little bit long. Okay. And so yes, so as you can see, the color is a little bit long, so you need to make adjustment. You can see that, right? So if you want to find out how much is different, you can now again verify, measure straight, 2-point straight. So you select this notch point and then high point shoulder. So you can see like 0.1, so like a 3/16, is it? So 0.16 is too long, basically. Okay, so that then you will fix that. Okay, so how you do that? So I will move this notch 0.6, or this is other way. I forgot to show something else here. Okay, so in this case, I would delete a notch. Okay, and I'm going to add a notch while I'm walking. Okay, so I like you to watch again. Okay, so I will do verify walk. Okay, so I will start from here, but direction is wrong. Change direction, and then also exclude before to start from this notch point, and then continue from center front to center back, and right click OK. Now I select the collar neckline. Okay, so now entire neckline selected, so right click OK. So I'm going to walk. Okay, and I will change mobile side. Okay, so when you get to this point, okay, this is the way you want to add a notch. So right click, okay, mark mobile, because mobile piece is a color. You want to add a notch to color, so mark mobile. See, the notch is added. Okay, and then we'll continue walking piece here toward the end, up to the end. Stop. Then you know how much you want to reduce. So this time I will use modify, line action, offset, and I will select center back of the collar, and I will just offset so that it matches with the jacket neckline, and right click OK. I hope this is too much for you, but this is how you will verify and fix the pattern if there are any discrepancies. Okay, so let me do it again. This is a good, I want to show you just an example. While you're walking the pieces, you can actually add notches here. Okay, for example, I'm going to do particularly here. Okay, so I'm going to delete the notch so that I'm going to show you how to add notches while you're walking. Okay, so verify walk. I'm going to walk undersleeve to side panel here. Okay, so right click to change direction, right click to exclude before so that I start from the bottom of the armhole. Okay, and right click OK. Now I'm going to do here and here. Okay. Okay, so then while you're walking, you said, okay, I wanted to add here like a double notch so that you know this is the back. So you will just place the cursor where you wanted to add a notch. Okay, and right click to mark both, and then just go maybe half an inch, a little bit more away. Mark both, and then cancel. Okay, cancel doesn't cancel that what you did. Okay, so you can see now you can add notches on both sides. Okay, so while you're walking, sometimes you want to mark both sides. So either you can do, okay, I'm just randomly doing that. Okay, so you can do right click. You can see mark mobile, or mark stationary, or mark both. So you have option to add notches to the stationary piece, or mobile piece, or both. Okay. Okay, so it's a lot of options when you use these workpieces. All right, so that workpiece I like you to practice after class. Now I like to move on to adding seam allowance. Okay, you ready, seam allowance? Okay, so I like you to add seam allowance. Okay, half an inches to the vertical seams, meaning center back, princess, and shoulder, and then front and back sleeve seams. And armhole neckline front edge 3/8, and hem 1.5. Okay, the collar is 3/8 everywhere. Okay, so try to add not seam allowance with the amount. Okay, let's. So this will be the practice adding the various corner notches. Okay, so let's add seam allowance now. So I will go to advanced seam define. So I will add everything first 3/8. Okay. Maybe you can turn view seam amounts on so you can see that, seam allowance amount. Okay. Maybe not, just a little too busy. Turn off for a while. And now you will define the center back princess lines, and then the shoulder, and maybe I should have done ½ inch first and then change to 3/8 the other one lines. But anyway, and I'll say okay, then ½ inch. Okay, and then the hem will be 1.5, and the body hem is 1.5. Then you have a little bit of problem here when you do that. It's a warning. Okay, so all right. Now you can see when you add, like especially the front, for example, right? This will be 3/8, and then at a certain point, you will switch to 1.5. So, but this one is not correct. So I'm going to show you how to fix that. Okay. So now, for now, just add the appropriate seam amount to each seam. Okay. So I guess I added everything correct seam amount. Okay, neckline, armhole, sleeve cap 3/8, and all right. So now turn off. So this will be under collar. So we don't have top collar yet. So under collar, so you could cut too. So we can leave it just like this. Yeah. All right. Now, once after you had add seam allowance, now you can see. Let me start with the front piece here. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of things wrong with this one, right? Don't you agree? What are the, wrong about this? Can you just leave it like this? Well, you see dart is now cut out dart, so you want to fix that with a cap, right? So you want to fix the dart, the folded dart. And you can see here, this corner is wrong. You can't leave it like this, right? And also here, there's a gap right there. So you have this transition. You need to fix that, the gap right there, okay? So these are 3 parts you want to fix, okay? Let me start with the dart, okay? So the dart, we did this is right now is cutout dart. Again, even though this is a dart, cutout dart, you need to add a seam allowance first in order to use advanced dart features right here, okay? So for this one, you will use fold, okay? Then make sure when you select the option, in your user input column, make sure you check 3 options, right? Include fold line, include drill hole, include notches. Okay. Then select that on the side to hold for hold to. So I would say fold to. So I will select this line. And drill hole be half an inch inside, so 0.5. What does it say? Intersection, really? Okay, I guess I should have chosen. Let me do it again. Fold. I'm gonna select this line here instead of this. I guess this is what it was. Same. Yeah, that's better because you see when you sew this and then you will cut open the reduced seam. So this would be, so you select this side of the leg. Okay. Okay, so that's how to fix the dust. Now let's talk about here. This to this, when you sew, okay, you will probably sew like that, right? So modify, flip. Okay, so you're gonna sew like that, right? From this point. Right, you will place that 2 layers of pieces, okay, front and the side panel. So you're going to stitch like this. It's a little difficult to, I mean, when it's a little bit hard to figure out where to start sewing, right? So this is not really ideal corners like that. So you need to fix that. So what would you do in case of if you have corners like this? One side is dull corner, the other side is a sharp corner. So this is a little bit even worse is this one here. So let's practice this first, and then we're gonna go this side. So this week you will probably something called squared corner, right? Don't you do square corner? If this is a paper pattern, you will probably draw the line from here, okay? Just extension of this line like this, and then when this hit the edge of the cut line, then you will use right angle, okay? Right angle at this intersecting point, you will make a square corner, okay? And then you will just extend this line to create the corner like that. Don't you do that? Right? Same here. You will just extend this line. Okay. So when you have intersect, okay, you will make a square corner, okay, from here. And so you will just cut off this section, right? So you then it becomes sort of like an identical corner. So when you sew this together, modify, flip. Okay, so when you sew this together, okay, so it will be much easier because these both corners are identical. Right? So it's well, it's almost right, but you get my points. You want to make it so that it's identical, very easy to sew. Okay, so how can you do that in computer? Okay, you don't want to. What happened here? Okay, you don't want to create a line like this. It's too much of work. So there is a feature you can do this. Okay, so here I'm going back to seam allowance, which is under advanced tab menu, and then we did corner here, seam corners, and regular corner we did last time, right? Regular corner, when you do, you have option to add both first, second. Okay, now if you go down the menu, scroll, if you see the drop down menu, you'll find squared. Okay, so build a 90-degree angle on the seam allowance from the blah, blah. So we will use that. Okay, now this one you have, it's not the one, just you have few steps to do this. Okay, so user input, you will select extension. Okay, and do you need a notch? Probably not, right? Because the shape itself tells you the amount of seam allowance. So you will say so none. You will select the no notches. Okay. Then you will select the corner. Okay. Following the sew line. So this is the sew line, not here, right? This is the you're gonna sew this front princess seam. So follow the seam and then select the point. Okay, and then select this line and right click OK. Now you don't see that because I have line there, so let me delete the line. Okay, see that? It's created a corner, just like that I did. So I'm gonna do it again and delete the line. Let's delete the line here. Okay. Oh, let me see. I didn't want to delete the line. Okay. Okay, so it was. Now, if you don't like this, you have option to also, after you're done, if you want to go back to original, you can say you can use remove. Okay, so when you click the corner, it goes back to original shape. Okay, so let's do it again. Yeah, I want to do square corner, extension of this line, right? So I will select corners, squared. Okay. So you need to do 2 clicks. First, you will hold down left button of the line that is the extension line you want to create. So here you slide all the way up to the corner. Then you select the point, radius. Then you click again the extension line, which is this one. Then you will create. Okay. Now, if you select the point, okay, like that, and if you select the point, see, it will do the opposite. So which line to select, it matters. Okay. So make sure. So this is the part you need to know the sewing direction. Okay. So this is the stitching direction. So you select this point and select this line. Okay. The same here. Square corner. So this is the sew line. So you select this point and select this line. So it will square off like this. So modify line action, delete the line. So I'm going to delete this line, delete this line. So that, see, it will be like that. It's not great, so that, it will, see, easy to sew. It's called squared corner. So you can do the same here. Okay. Now this one might be not, you may need to fix a little bit, but let's use the feature to fix the corner. Again, advanced, seam corners, squared. Okay, so you select the point by following the sew line that you want to create. Okay, where did this come from? Come on. So here let's do this one first. So you will select the point and select the line, and you will select the point and select the line. Okay, like that. So that is the square corner. So you can do that for the especially here, right? So you select the point, select the line, select the point, select the line. Okay. Select the point, select the line. Okay. Select the point, select the line. Okay. So that is the square corner. All right. Questions about this? No. All right. Next, I want to address the front here. Okay. Now this one, there should be line right here. Okay. So what you can do, it's called as you want to step. So you first you have 3/8, and then from this point it becomes like 1.5 inch. Okay. It's called stepped corner. Okay. So let me change this first to a 3/8 so that it becomes like that. Okay. Now, in order to do that, you need to have a split point. Okay. The line needs to be split in order to add two different seam amount. Okay. So this is, let me add a notch so you can see that. This is the point, okay, where the facing is attached. So facing probably stops here, and then so that you will, when you need an extra seam amount here, so that this part will be bent back, okay, because facing doesn't come all the way here, so facing stops here, and then so you need a facing stops probably here, so you need extra amount. Okay, so from this point you up to this point 3/8, and from this point 1/2 inch. Okay. So you find same way create advanced seam corners, but this time you use uh, perpendicular step corner. Okay. Perpendicular meaning square, right? Perpendicular step corner. Okay. So um, you will first select the point. Okay. This is the point I want. Okay. This is split point. Select the point. So here right now I have all 3/8. Okay, so I will use advanced corners perpendicular step. Okay, so then I will select the point, select the perimeter line before or after. So I will select this line, then select the line to modify seam allowance on. So I will select this line. Then it asks you how much. I say 1.5. So it will give step corner. Okay, so I will, I guess I delete a note. Okay, so that's a perpendicular step corner. Okay, can you try that? Hope it works. All right. Now let's move on to here, sleeve hem. Okay. Well, sleeve hem, especially the top sleeve. What happens if you leave the seam allowance like this? The hem. If you don't change anything, what could happen if you saw these pieces? You may need a notches here, but let's say after you add notches, do you think can you leave it like this? If you saw as is, what would happen?
Your hem would be too small.
Right, because it's like tapers in, right? So what do you do if it's paper pattern? How you fix that? Okay, so if this is the paper pattern, probably you will fold this, right? And then you will trace this line so it goes probably a little bit out. You know, that's what you do, right? Don't you? Okay. So basically it will be like that. Let me so it's called turn back. So you fold it, fold the seam up, and then you trace this line so that you know, so that when you after you sew, when you turn, when you flip the hem, it's not too small. Okay, so that is, you will find again advanced seam corners. It's called turn back. Okay, turn back. Construct the corner shape by folding the seam allowance back. So that's a turn back. Okay, so when you use feature, you have also notch options. Okay, so you wanted to add no notches or perpendicular or extension. So I would do extension. Okay, and I would do first. Okay, I don't want to add both, so just do first. Then you click the seam. See that? It does that. You see that? How neat is that? Same. See? That's turn back. Okay, it's very simple, but you make sure you have notch options properly selected. Okay, so that you can do that for side hem also, and then the back maybe. Okay, okay, so that is corner turn back. Okay. Okay. Well, I'll move on to next. We will explore more options here. Okay. So now, so far we did square corner, turn back, and then perpendicular step corner. This one here. Okay. So next, I want to do. Let's say you have a vent here. Okay. You want to add a vent, okay, like a 2 inches extension. So in order to do that, you need to mark the vent opening. Okay. So I'm going to add a notch. Let's say from here, 6 inches from there will be the vent opening. Okay. So you want to develop the vent opening. Okay. So in order to use that to create a vent, you have like 2 inches out. But this is the actual vent opening. So what you can do is again, same as this one, you need to create a split point to offset different amount. Okay, so you don't want to do offset. You don't want to add from this point. You will probably add a little bit higher because you want to add seam allowance. So once you determined that finished vent amount, you want to add a little bit extra. So let's say I would do half because this is half an inch. So 6.5 will be where the vent extension starts. Okay, so that's where you wanted to add split point. Okay, so I'm going to add a split point from modify line action split. Okay, so by measurement, you see that cursor has this option. Okay, either you can do distance from, or you do bunny click. Okay, so you know that starting from here, so you say 6.5. Okay, so that will be a split point. Okay, so once you have a split point, we're going to use advanced corners. Which one is that? We will call it slanted step. Okay, slanted step. Okay. So first you will select the corner, which is split point, and then line to modify, which is this one. So I will add 2 inches, and then you want to make a little bit of a slant like this, right? For the vent. So I'll say half an inch vent. Okay. So that will be like that. So you can develop that, the vent extension. Okay. Then you said, oh, I want to make here a mitered corner. You know what the mitered corner is? Okay. So especially when you have a vent, you want to make it like a vent, the miter corner. So you have still option here. Again, corners, miter. Okay. Now, unfortunately, this one, you select that check extension first only. And when you select the corner, you see you can adjust and then say half an inch. Okay. So you see the notch comes in like a wrong direction. So I don't like that. Okay. So instead of, even though it's a miter, you have envelope. Okay. This is actually same as a miter, but it adds notch right at the middle. This is a half an inch. See the notch at exactly at the middle. So that will be easier because then you can fold at this notch point and you can stitch that to create the miter corner. Now I'm showing this one, but if you can do manually. For example, I'm going to add here, let's say 3/8 first. No, half an inch, and here is 1/8, right? 1.5. Okay. So if you can create modify split point 6 inches. You can create 2 inches again. Okay, and then so this will be 1.5. Okay, so you can do like that too. Instead of using this uh, slanted step corner to create a vent extension, you can manually create, and the vent extension you can add seam allowance, so you will get the same results actually. Okay. So that's one, but you can, sometimes, you might find this feature is easier. Um, I just want to be aware that yes, you have options to create vent, okay, using these features. Now, what the problem with this one is now, if you do mitered corner, that is probably a little bit difficult to find, figure it out. But if you use that this seam corners functions, then you can, computer does it for you. Okay.
Can you
So
do
that
that? Sorry, can you do that slanted step corner one more time?
this one,
Yes,
yes, yes.
thank
Okay.
you.
So now remember, in order to do that, you need a split point. Okay. So you see the split point. This is a split point. You need to so the, you need to create a split point, not exactly at the vent end. This is the actual vent opening, stops here. So if you create a stepped corner from here, then you'll miss the seam allowance. That is why once you know the vent opening, the length, then you create the split point. Depends on the seam allowance amount. In this case, this center back is half an inch. So you add split point half an inch more to that. Okay. So now this is the split point. Okay. So once you have split point created, then you will select advanced corners, slanted step. Okay. Then actually you can do let me do this just a regular first, none. Okay, so then you select the corner. Well, it says corner, but it's a split point basically. And you select the split point, release. It tells you select the corner. Let me select again. So I select the corner, Why it doesn't do that? Let me see. Maybe this one is affected here. Okay, try again. Okay, select this point. Still doesn't. How strange. Let's see. Let me combine again. Okay. So split again. Advanced corners slanted step. So select the corner. Now it does. Okay. So select the line to modify, which is this one. And I will say how much? 2 inches. Sorry, 2 inches. Then if you're in a cursor mode, it will be like this, but switch to value mode with the bunny click, and then ½ inch slanted. Okay, so it needs to meet the condition, which is that you have to have a split point on the line. Okay. Was it good? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So now, this is different ways to add the vent. So this will be one way to do that, and this is another way to do that. Okay. All right. Then what else I need to show you? We did right. We did slanted corner. We did square corner, bent back, and we do perpendicular step. Okay, mirror corner. Let's do mirror corner. Okay. If you have, let's say the jacket has no lining, okay, this two-piece sleeve, for example. Jacket has no lining, and then armhole will be clean finished with a, like a binding, bias binding, for example. Okay. So what will be the problem if you send out the pattern like this for the style that has no lining? Okay, and it will be it will be stitched together, and the press seam open, and everything will be bias binding. Okay, including this seam and then the armhole. Okay, so in that case, what will be the problem if you send the pattern like this? You see, that's when you see the pattern maker has to be a good seamstress too, because if you don't know constructions, adding the seam allowance is getting problem. Okay, so if this is no lining, okay, and if you press seam open, okay, you can't really catch that edge here, right, with bias binding. So you basically you see the little bit of raw edge showing at the top. So that's very, very unattractive. Okay. So then what can you do is that you need to make this corner mirrored corner. Okay. So you will select from the corners menu, you have mirror. No matter where's mirror? Here, mirrored corner. Okay. So when you select the option, same way, you're going to select the point and select the line. Okay. Select the point, select the line. Well, notches are wrong, so I'm not going to add a notch. No notch. Let me do it again. Select the point, select the line. Select the point, select the line. Okay, so that's the right shape for that no lining, because when this seam will stitch, and then this will be here. Okay, so that this line this line is a mirrored image, right? From the saw line, okay? So that this will be stitched. When you press it open, this point will come here. So that means there's no raw edge showing. When you stitch this together, this point will be here, okay? So that is the mirrored corner. So you do the same for the center back seam, okay? Create mirror, okay? Select the corner, select the line, select the corner, select the line, okay? So that will be seam pressed open with bias binding, okay? Now, if you have no lining, but you have bias binding two seams together and then press it to the top sleeve side, and you do like edge stitch or double needle stitch, whatever design detail, okay? So in that case, this is wrong, right? If the seam is pressed to the top sleeve side, then you will probably leave this one like that. And then maybe you want to add a knot here. Regular extension first, like that. So then you will be sewed together, and then this seam stays like that, and this will be pressed to this side. So the two seams, both seams will press to this side, so that way this is there, so it doesn't show the raw edge, right? Are you following? Do you know that? Does it make sense what I'm saying? I hope. Okay. So how the seam is finished it affects how to add a seam allowance. Okay. Whether if it's all clean finish with the lining, then you don't need to worry about. You can just make it here square corner. But if it's no lining, then you have to do mirror corner so that your raw edge is not revealed, right? To make sure that everything is nicely clean, because that will be the mirrored corner, mirrored. Okay. All right. So those are main corners that you see that you understand you have so many options here, because we do have when you make a patterns, we have different type of corner finishing. So that's the that's why you have more options here. Okay. Questions, anybody? So you see, even though this is a computer pattern making, you still have to visit every corner and they have to fix it. So it's sometimes that's the part that really takes time. Okay. All right. So you can either save this, and then we'll take just 5 minutes break. Okay, and we'll continue. Right. So I'm going to stop recording. So make sure you